Hey, what's up, my nerds?
I'm Air Bear.
And I'm Chasen, and you're just in time for your weekly dose of nerd news. Clink!
Today is Saturday, May 20th, and this is what happened this week. So, to start things off with movies, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is doing very well in the movie theater. It has made $60.5 million domestically in its second week, $528 million globally in its second week. And what I find interesting is that this is a 49% drop in earnings from the opening week to the second week.
Okay.
The first week made $114 million domestically. By comparison, Ant-Man, Quantumanium,
Well, let me guess, it was a bigger
3,
drop?
yes, was a 69% drop. So, Guardians of the Galaxy 49. Thor, Love and Thunder was a 67% drop. Black Widow was a 67.8% drop. Eternals was a 62% drop, which earlier I was wondering how those movies could drop, being that they never went to theater.
Yeah.
Black Widow and Eternals. But then I remembered that when Black Widow first came out, you could buy it.
Yeah.
And then,
You got it for free after.
yeah, and then if
wow.
you just waited, you could get it for free.
Yeah.
Which I was just now thinking back to us. I was like, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because we heard anything. I'm surprised. I just wonder how much it made originally.
Yeah.
So also by comparison, Super Mario Brothers, which has done very well this year, had a 41% drop between its first and second week.
Cool. Continuing on with Super Mario Brothers, looks like it's going to be released digitally on Amazon Prime Video. It's already been released a couple days ago on May 16th. That's going to be for $30. Well, $29.99 on Prime Video.
Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves will be on went to Paramount Plus on the same day, May 16th. It was already on Amazon, and it will be coming to Blu-ray and DVD on May 30th.
Cool. And more releases. Avatar Way of the Water is going to be released on the same day on Max and Disney Plus, thanks to an agreement that Disney made with Warner Media back in 2021. So that's going to be releasing on June 7th.
And not something being released is Haunted Mansion. It will eventually be released, but not now.
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion has had a trailer, which I find it really cool. The movie seems like it's going to be really good. It seems like it has a Pirates of the Caribbean sort of feel, where it's like geared more toward adults and not really like hokey sort of fun for the kids to laugh and giggle at. It seems like it's made for adults.
Adults to appreciate, and that's interesting. I mean, that makes sense.
But also, there was something that happened in the trailer that reminded me. I mean, there's a bunch of things that remind me of the ride because it's based on a ride. But there was a seat that someone was sitting in, and it's like, that's the ride seat. And then it made me want to ride the ride again.
Cool. I need to check it out.
Just a reason to go to Disney World, just to ride this ride before this movie comes out.
Yeah. Yes. That's the reason. And I'll go with you. So there's a third Venom movie. It hasn't been titled yet, but it is going to star, forgive me, I didn't look up how to say this, but Chiwetel Ejiofor, who played Mordo in Doctor Strange. I like him. And he's going to co-star with Tom Hardy. So, third Venom movie coming out.
So what was interesting about this is they did not mention they didn't mention who he'd be playing.
Right.
Both of those movies are in the Marvel universe, but Venom is a little bit further removed than the other movies.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Even though it has been featured in end-credit scenes of Spider-Man, which is more involved. But I feel like that's the movie that bridges the gap between the Marvel Cinematic Universe and then Sony's Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
Is Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, definitely.
But
for sure.
it's I find it odd because Mordo is such a big character. It's not like he's like a side character that
Right.
you could just sneak into a movie. He was a pretty big role
I
in
mean,
Doctor
for
Strange.
him specifically to cross over into a Venom movie, I imagine that I would hope that they know what they're doing as far as casting him to be in a Venom movie.
Instead of casting any other person.
Yeah, anybody else. So, yeah, we'll see though.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 has had an official trailer, and it very much gave you the feels of the Mission Impossible.
Okay.
Tom Cruise doing his thing, running
Yeah.
around. You wondering, how old is this man?
Yeah.
And how is he getting women that young? And will I be that able to move around when I'm that old? But speaking of really old people,
Ah, yes, speaking of, okay, really old people.
Still running
Indiana
around.
Jones
Yes.
is still alive and kicking and digging, apparently. So Indiana Jones has a release date for the first, Indiana Jones' release date for the first 4 movies on Disney Plus is May 31st. So you can catch up on those before you see the latest movie, and that's going to release June 30th. But there's also a teaser trailer that's been released if you want to check that out. I haven't seen it yet,
I
but
saw it.
yeah.
Yeah. And it again made me wonder, how old is he? And
Yeah.
how long? I mean, thank goodness they're ending this here.
'Cause I
This
don't
is
know.
getting really unbelievable that he is doing
Knocking
all
these
of
people
this.
out and yeah.
Yeah. So, Deadpool 3 it is going to be bringing back 2 characters. Well, it's bringing back a bunch of characters.
Yeah.
But it's official that they are bringing back Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and Yukio. I haven't seen Deadpool 3, so I have no additional comments to make. Also, there was news this week that Deadpool 3 is using a working title called Tidal Wave, which may or may not have anything to do with the movie. But being that there's no characters named Tidal Wave in
Yeah.
the
Well,
world.
I didn't know there was a Negasonic Teenage Warhead, so
Oh, you didn't see the
No, I mean-
second movie?
I did, but before seeing the second movie, I didn't know that.
Oh.
So there could be someone named Tidal Wave that's introduced in this movie. I don't know,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm gonna see it. Let's talk about something you'll probably watch. Moving over to TV news, Echo, which is a spinoff from the popular Hawkeye series, is going to be released on November 29th, and it will release all of season 1 at once. So,
Doing a big Netflix drop.
yes. Excited for that. This is going to be the first MCU show to do that, and it's some of the changes in the MCU may be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them trying to save face, and also them trying to reduce the number of shows that they're putting out instead of trying to prolong the shows and
string
making
it
people
along.
get tired of it. Just release it all at once and just be done. And speaking of MCU shows coming out that are more than likely going to be released episode by episode, Loki season 2 has an official release date of October 6th,
Nice.
just ahead of Halloween, so that you can be a Loki variant again for Halloween.
Because who doesn't need that? And it looks like Archer is going to be coming to an end after 14 seasons, but you can check it out on FXX.
So I wrote this down. I had no idea what it was, and I had to look more into it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I did not have cable television.
Okay.
So, JBVO, which, did you watch that show?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Does it stand for
So,
something? I'm assuming it does.
I don't know if it stands for something, but first part is Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo! Okay, so when I saw JBVO, I was thinking, surely that's not Johnny Bravo. But it is.
Okay.
Yes, I watched Johnny Bravo.
So, was the whole show where he was doing, like, requests from people? Like, people would write in requests? And then, okay. Well, JBVO
Yeah.
apparently was a show where people would write in requests.
Yeah.
And he'd play it or whatever.
Okay.
And one of the requests was something about a Dragon Ball Z episode.
Okay.
And so that clip of them showing Dragon Ball Z or doing Dragon Ball Z on Johnny Bravo's show was lost for a
Okay.
long time. After
Interesting.
20 years of someone
Resurfaced.
combing through the internet,
Yeah.
they found that clip
Okay.
of Dragon Ball Z.
I gotta say, I'm more confused than when I than when I first read it. So is J? I guess I'll just need to look it up. I would just need to look up.
I don't have enough
JBVO.
background
Yeah. So,
knowledge.
hey, if you already knew what JBVO was, go ahead and put that in the comments and maybe talk about your favorite non-lost episode or lost episode of JBVO, whatever that is. Because now I just don't know. But I do know Steve Urkel, aka Jaleel White, and I was pretty excited when I read this. It's confirmed that he will be joining the cast of Star Wars Skeleton Crew. So, and that's the
I'm happy for him.
yeah, me too, me too.
Doing something like, because it sucks constantly being known as formerly Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he wants to get away from that.
He won't though. He won't.
I mean, it depends on how well he does Skeleton Crew.
Possibly. Well, I suppose
And
now
how well
Skeleton,
Skeleton
Crew
Crew does.
Is Skeleton Crew live action?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, then maybe like
Yeah, because Jude Law is in it.
with younger people, but with older people, he's Steve Urkel in Star Wars. That's what he's gonna be.
I hope not.
I need that now. I do.
So the CW had an event called Upfront this week where they announced plans to move away
John, Steve.
from Jordan. Plans to move away from superhero shows. So most of their superhero shows and content was geared toward a young adult audience, millennials basically. But millennials and the young adult audience are not watching, they're not turning on their television
streaming.
set and turning to channel
Yeah.
whatever to watch
I
it.
gotta say, I remember trying to keep up with CW shows
Mm-hmm.
and having to find the episodes, and it was crazy.
Yeah,
It
you
was-
had to remember what time your
like-
episode would come on
Yeah.
and what day it came on. And I was pretty good, like with the shows that I knew, but I couldn't keep too many shows.
Right, yeah.
Like there were only a couple number of shows I could have.
Yeah, so okay. I'm tracking along.
So, young adults are not doing that nonsense anymore. They're streaming everything. So, they are trying to attract, or CW is trying to attract an older audience by offering a bigger and broader selection of shows that aren't geared toward the millennials who like the superhero stuff.
Right.
And that are shows that they were putting out for a while
Yeah.
that were geared toward them. Even though in an earlier announcement, an announcement earlier this year, they mentioned that their average viewer age is 58. So they already had an older audience who's apparently watching these shows. But now we want to actually gear, I guess maybe they want to actually gear toward that audience, but they were already watching the shows, so.
Well, I wonder if they were watching. Well, I don't know.
Because I know my
Your
father
dad?
watches those shows. He's
That's true.
all about them. So anywho, some of the shows involved are Legacies, which I don't know what that is. Legends of Tomorrow, which was that spinoff from
Arrow.
Arrow.
No,
Okay, so
it was a
spinoff
spinoff from the
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Legends of Tomorrow, Batwoman, Charmed Reboot, and Dynasty, which I don't know what that is. All of those shows have been canceled or are going to be canceled. Kung Fu, the Supernaturals prequel, and live action Powerpuff Girls. Did you add that in?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I
Because
did
I
add
read
that
something
in.
about live action Powerpuff Girls was being canceled, or what,
Right.
like, it was a project that they had that
Yeah.
just couldn't gather
Couldn't
enough
get-
steam.
yeah.
Yeah, so Powerpuff Girls, Walker Independence projects were all halted. So those were projects that they had and then they were stopped. And Flash and Riverdale have both announced their final seasons this year. So those are all the shows that are being affected by CW's shift in their perceived audience. So some shows that we don't really know the fate of yet are Superman and Lois, Gotham Knights, and All American. I think Gotham Knights, I'm wondering if that's a show that just started like this
Gotham
year,
Knights.
like had its first episode or first episode this year. Superman and Lois, sorry, there was a nap here.
Yeah, I figured.
Because it's that time of year. But yeah, Superman and Lois, I think it's been like in its third season or something. I don't know. All American Homecoming. Those shows have not been mentioned. Or we don't really know what the fate of those shows are. Also, they mentioned that those shows are really expensive to produce.
Yes.
For how
I
much
remember
they're
that.
getting out of it. Yeah. It's like for me, the first show that like went into that expensive, super high quality production was Lost. That was the first show that I watched that did that. I was like, this is a show? This feels like a movie.
Right, yeah.
So some of the shows that the CW is going to be leaning toward is Joan, which is a series about an infamous jewel thief. The Librarians, the next chapter, which I don't know what the original Librarians was about.
I think they had like magical powers.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah.
Which that didn't really seem too far out of the realm of what.
Superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Swarm, which is a German eco sci-fi. Sullivan's Crossing. Now, when I heard Joan, I was like, okay, that's a name right there. But Sullivan's Crossing reminded me of. The name of it reminded me of Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. And that was what I thought of. Do you remember Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman?
Is it a cartoon?
No, Love
Dr.
Bug. It is
Quinn,
not. It was a show that was on CBS.
Okay.
Do you know what CBS was all about?
No.
Catering to old people. Like they had Price is Right. They had Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. They had like just wholesome shows that were about family and good old-fashioned American values, stuff like that. And Dr. Quinn would go around. I don't really remember everything she did, but I think she just would go around and help save people because she was
people.
doctor or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, Sullivan's Crossing. When I heard of that, I thought of Dr. Quinn, but it's a Canadian medical drama based on a book, and it
All
has
the pieces are lining up.
Chad Michael Murray in it, which I couldn't remember who Chad Michael Murray is. All right, his name is real. I don't think he's old. His name is really familiar. I just cannot place who he is. And then also, just completely out of the random, F-Boy Island, a reality show.
Oh, cool. They gotta jazz it up.
Well, they're
Gotta keep it
making
fresh.
they're making it broad,
Wide.
and wider to attract a wider audience range, which I'm sure will work out for them because that seems to be the way to go. Well, that's what Max is doing as well, so we'll see.
Okay, well, I guess not the other end of the spectrum. Disney is also cutting a lot of content in hopes to, well, according to Bob Iger, he's hoping to basically make up for losses that they're making. So they are, after losing more than $1 billion on the platform, he's hoping to target $3 billion in savings for this year. So getting rid of content is a part of that plan. Some of the things that they're getting rid of include several series like Willow, who'd have thought, The World According to Jeff Goldblum, Disney Fairy Tale Weddings, Marvel's Empower.
I think it's Empower
Yeah, I think so too.
because it's like
It's the
empowerment.
Empower. Of course it is. Not Empower, like M'Baku, I guess, is what I was going for. Anyway. Good grief. Marvel's Empower. Thank you, Love Bear. And Harmonious Life. There was a long list. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. But the idea is they're getting rid of some content so that they can save money to have a stronger year. So, yeah.
So Netflix is going to be releasing a reality show based on Squid Games called Squid Games to Challenge.
Sounds fishy. Okay.
Yeah, it gets worse. So there's 456 people who are going to be entering, cause much like I'm fairly sure that was what was happening in Squid Games, and each person was worth $1 billion or $1 million or something.
Like that, yeah.
So in the game, each person is worth $1 million. So they're going to be entered in the chance to win $4.56 million. When you lose, you just lose the game, not your life.
Okay, that's a step in the right direction.
But they're still going to be competing in children's games.
Oh, okay.
However, there have been reports of a poor treatment of the contestants. Things such as waking them up at 3 a.m. to go stand in the freezing cold.
Oof.
Or I'm guessing the game where you have to stand still or you get shot. The red light, green light.
Yeah.
There were people collapsing. There was a
So a
report
lawsuit
of at
waiting
least
to happen.
10 collapsed during filming, people getting injured, and freezing temperatures, which I mentioned before. So yeah.
Are these people also super desperate and in need of money and getting chased by drug lords and such?
Maybe.
Good
I don't.
grief. Well,
I mean, it seems like a good idea.
it seems like a good idea. It does.
But then at what point do you just go ahead and stop? You say like, oh, you know what? We made a mistake. You know, all of you get $1 million. We're sorry. You get $1 million and apologies.
Sue us, okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, you know, I don't know how much of that has been proven true
Yes,
as far as
yes.
the reports, but you know, you call
doesn't
it
sound
Squid
good.
Games,
Yeah.
and based on the show, like,
Yeah.
all right, well, hey, let's talk about some wholesome TV, okay? Futurama. Yes, no, you didn't step into a time machine and go back 10 years, because Futurama is coming back after 10 years. I think it's 10 or 11 years. 10 years, yes. It's coming back to Hulu this July. Season 11 is going to drop its first episode on July 24th, and then they're going to release new episodes each Monday. Futurama. Back, baby! That's from the same people who created Simpsons. So, in that same genre, line of comedy type deal.
Event news. So, all right. So Disney, I guess more saving money things. It has announced the closing of the Galactic Star Wars Cruiser for good after September 30th. So a while ago, they said that they weren't taking any more reservations after September 28th, or that will book after September 28th. So now it looks like that's going to be the last set of reservations. All people who had their reservations before that, or after, all people who had their reservations after that, they are now able to change their booking currently.
To fit in to that last date.
To fit in before the last date.
Yeah.
So new bookings, you can still book, but they're being paused until May 26th to give those people time to rebook their previous booking. It was only open for 18 months.
18 months, man.
And the way that I heard it, it seemed like Disney was trying to put a spin on it. Like, this is what we intended to do. We were just trying to do like a short-term sort of, you know, thing. Trial run, just like an experience for 18 months. But you don't spend that much money and train that many people.
I mean, they were...
Only to close after 18 months. But they were struggling with bookings because the normal average person can't afford to pay
$5,000.
Yeah, $4,000 something dollars per night.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I want the experience, but...
And then with that, it's not like I don't think you got tickets to go to the whole park. You only got tickets to go to just...
Starship.
Just Starship. And I think you could also go... Yes, you could also ride the Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, and you could ride some of the other Star Wars rides. The other one.
The other one, yeah. So you could, like, go to Batuu.
That's what I think. Yes, because you could do the sword, make a lightsaber, and you can make a droid. That was all included. So there was a lot included, but I mean,
You paid
it's
for
not
a lot.
it's not $4,000 a lot.
Right. Well, hopefully they've learned some things,
Yeah.
and we see more experiences at better pricing.
Yes, that
Yeah.
the average person.
Average person can go to and not feel like it has to be absolutely perfect. Because if I'm paying $5,000, $4,000, whatever, it better be
It was upward
freaking
of four.
perfect.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure on the crew, the cast,
And yourself.
and yourself, and your family, and your child that's crying.
This is supposed to be perfect.
Right, yeah.
You should be a young Jedi right now. Jedi, don't cry.
Oh man. So, hoping that the money saved on shows will help with that.
Offset the cost that they
Yeah.
paid to build that thing. That windowless. It's no windows. It has fake windows that look out to the stars.
stars.
I would have liked to go on it.
Me too.
And experience it.
Yeah.
I didn't $4,000. I mean, $5,000 want to go on and
Yeah.
experience it.
Yeah, it's nuts. Well, okay. Max, not the Max, just Max, is officially going to release or launch May 23rd.
That's
Which,
formerly HBO Max.
right.
So, Duolingo and Crunchyroll are teaming up to teach users anime phrases. So, you can learn your favorite anime phrases. The way it's going to work is Crunchyroll subscribers can get 2 months free of the premium subscription of Duolingo, and Duolingo subscribers could be eligible for 1 month ad-free Crunchyroll. But I'm wondering if, like, it's just going to be available regardless. Like, if you could just go on Duolingo and find the anime Japanese thing.
Yeah,
I didn't even
just
mention
through
it was
Duolingo.
Japanese at any point. But yes, it's Japanese.
Okay, cool.
It's not just anime language. Anime is not a
Right,
language.
yeah.
Except
that's
if it is, then you'd have to yell everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other words I know are curse words. So the original voice actor for Crash Bandicoot has passed away at age 60. That's Brendan O'Brien.
He also
Yeah.
played the voices of Dr.
Dr.
Nero,
Nero
Cortex.
Cortex and Tiny Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And now I'm remembering, like, running on the Great Wall.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
The Great Wall. Yeah.
And then having to jump.
Jumping
Yeah.
over the holes. Like, man, they need to fix this. Why is there a hole right there?
Why is there so many holes?
Where's this dragon coming
Why are
from?
these kites out here?
This is a hazard.
Yeah.
On to gaming news.
Gaming news. So, Amazon Game, who developed New World, which is a MMO, which means
Massively.
massively multiplayer online role-playing game, will partner with Middle Earth Enterprise to create a new MMO based on the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Okay.
It will be a completely new game. It's not recycling from the 2021 canceled Amazon project, which was another Lord of the Rings project.
Okay.
So it's completely new and they're not recycling anything from that previous project. Yeah, multiplayer Lord of the Rings. I imagine people running around with wands, not wands, staffs.
Not wands. All right.
Silly.
Don't be silly. Stray may be coming to Xbox.
You know what Stray is?
Oh, right. Yeah, we played it, and I'm
It's a
assuming
game.
that everybody knows about it. But it's an award-winning indie game whose main character is a cat. So
A stray
a
cat.
stray cat.
Cute little stray kitten.
It's adorable. Just the game as a whole is adorable. Until it's not. I'll just leave it at that.
Which is
But-
probably why it has this rating of 10
Yes,
plus.
right. So Stray may be coming to Xbox, and it has gotten a rating of 10 plus instead of E for everyone. right? Wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check it out. Check it out. If nothing else, go look at a trailer maybe.
So it may be coming to Xbox based on this information that it has a ERSB rating, which I guess is something that only Xbox has. So
What I can say is currently it's available on PS4 because that's what we played it on.
I was trying to think, do I know if it's available on PS5? Only PS4 is the only thing I know.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage will play himself in Dead by Daylight, in the Dead by Daylight game. The other thing that he played himself in was Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is a movie that people said was pretty good. But it will be coming out July 5th, the Dead by Daylight, where Nicolas Cage will be playing himself.
Interesting.
Which seems to be the way people like him best, is either playing himself or playing Dracula.
Cool. I was thinking Dead by Daylight sounds like a vampire movie.
Yeah, but
Okay, well, that's Nicolas Cage for you. So The Expanse, fans of The Expanse, get excited. Because the Telltale series, episode 1, it's a game that's going to be released July 27th on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. And it takes place before the show expands. So it's expanding that franchise.
Okay. All right. BlizzCon, which is an annual gaming convention held by Blizzard Entertainment, will have its first in-person convention in 4 years. So it shut down because of the pandemic. And then it tried to have some, it did have some online events. But this will be the first time that it's going to be in person. They're still going to have some things that are going to be online. It will be in Anaheim, California, November 3rd through 4th. And in the past, this event has announced games such as Overwatch, Diablo 4, and some of the World of Warcraft expansions. So there may be some big announcements in this con. Like usually, I think they said that they announce them on the first day. So it'll be interesting, especially since this is the first one coming back.
Yeah, since the pandemic. Hopefully they have a lot of good stuff to announce.
Maybe
And-
Overwatch will be coming to PS4.
Oh,
Maybe that will be an announcement.
Probably
It's not going to happen.
but PlayStation, I'm sure, is going to have their own set of announcements during their showcase, which is taking place next week, May 24th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to focus on games that are coming to PS5 and PSVR 2.
All right, so this is a good one. Mortal Kombat! So,
Fight!
there is a trailer for the new game, which is I believe it's the 12th installment, but it's going to be called Mortal Kombat 1 because they are like rebooting. Basically, like one of the characters has remade the world, and so everything's starting over again, it seems. I don't know, that's what I vaguely understood. But
From the trailer?
No.
No. Okay.
Did you see you clearly didn't see the trailer.
I did see the trailer.
You did see the trailer, yeah. That's not what was in the trailer.
Well, that's what I got from the trailer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I thought you saw the trailer,
Good.
the way you were
No, I
explaining
did
it.
see the trailer.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just not what I gathered. It was just like, whoa, fatality. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could kill someone that way. Is that possible?
Oh man, yeah, that was an exciting trailer.
That was a really exciting trailer.
It's
Like, I don't like that type of game, but I definitely want the cosplay, Katana, and the other girl with the mouth.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. Like that was
And
a
I've
good
seen
trailer.
her before.
Yeah.
But anyway, so 9 characters, speaking of Katana, have been confirmed. Johnny Cage, who I believe he was not in the trailer, but he was confirmed later on.
Okay.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. It had something to do with Johnny Cage.
Oh,
like I
like
think
he's
Johnny
based on him,
Cage
maybe?
is based on him, and he's
Okay.
going to be doing something for Johnny Cage.
Okay.
So that was how
wearing a bodysuit maybe and doing some
maybe
movements.
or
Okay.
mouth like voice. Katana is going to be in it. Kung Lao, Fire God Liu Kang, Melina, Raiden, Scorpion, Shang Tsung, which is a pre-order bonus character, and Sub-Zero. This game will be available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. On September 19th, 2023, you can start pre-ordering.
Today?
No, not today.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
So now, today, because you can't go back in time.
Yeah.
So do it today. All right. Very nice. And My Hero Ultra Rumble is a 24-player battle royale. 3-player teams, 8 teams, free to play. So the beta version is going to be released May 25th through June 1st on PS4.
Mm-hmm. And it looked really cool. Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
It looked pretty cool. It didn't look like super detailed and like high graphic, like a lot of the other games that you play.
Yeah.
But just looked cool.
Yeah,
like
being
just
able
running
to play
around
with
with powers.
characters that you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a new board game has entered the top spot on Board Game Geek. So previously, this spot was held by Gloomhaven for 5 years. And then it was usurped, I think is the correct term, by Brass Birmingham. Now both are being pushed down for Pandemic Legacy to take the top spot.
Ah, nice. Okay. Yes,
I couldn't figure out if which Pandemic Legacy it is, or if
like season 1 or season.
or Board Game Geek has all Pandemic Legacies listed as one, which I think would make it unfair. It's an unfair advantage because Brass Birmingham did not get to include the other brass in its count.
Yeah,
and Gloomhaven doesn't get to include Jaws of the Lion in its count. So I'm wondering which Pandemic it is.
Does it? Are you sure that Gloomhaven doesn't include the others in its count? And Brass Birmingham doesn't include the other in its count?
I'm fairly certain I've seen them listed separately.
Okay. Interesting. But, like I say, you couldn't figure out which legacy it was.
Yeah.
All right.
Movies releasing this
yeah.
upcoming week. That's going to be May 20th through May 26th.
That's right. Shazam 2 is coming to Max on May 23rd.
And The Little Mermaid is coming to theaters on May 26th. I don't know why I'm doing all of that because I'm not gonna do anything special. I'm not wearing my costume. I'm not gonna be doing a Cosbound. I would like to, but I mean, if I didn't have a job in the middle of the day, I would be doing it.
Jobs change things.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's go on to TV shows that are releasing this upcoming week. Prehistoric Planet is going to be dropping May 22nd on Apple TV.
And 100 Years of Warner Brothers, the stuff that dreams are made of, is coming out on Max May 25th. I don't really know what it's about, but
it's the stuff that dreams are made of.
Like, I mean, I was thinking of things that was on Warner Brothers, and Animaniacs came to mind. Yeah.
Well, cool. This has been your weekly dose of nerd news. If you like what you saw, please be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and hey, let's leave some comments. Oh, of course, ding that notification bell so that you know when we're dropping stuff. And outside of that, I'm Chasen.
And I'm Air Bear.
Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next week for even more nerdiness.
Clink!